more news and notes here. This is definitely a curveball, but one that I thought you would enjoy, one that I think Steelers fans might yell at us for, and I was excited to kind of bring it on the show. Tom Brady was on the Deep Cut podcast yesterday with TikTok star Vic Blends talking about a lot of stuff, and Vic, well, he asked, let's say something happens in the middle of the season. Somebody goes down, team's making a playoff push, they need a quarterback, offense is looking good. Do you come out of retirement? Do you pick up the phone call? And Tom immediately, zero hesitation, was just like, yes, I would. I'd be open to it. If the NFL allowed me to do it while also owning a team, I'm all on board. 46 years old. He'd be 47 by the time he signed with an NFL team. I mean, we'll talk about the Steelers. I want to theorize what it would take for the Steelers to end up with Tom Brady and how crazy that would be. But for you, as somebody who grew up with Tom Brady as their guy, and for me as somebody who grew up hating Tom Brady, what were your thoughts? You think you think the GOAT's still got some juice left in him?
No, I don't. Part of me was like, give it a rest, old man. Like, come on, like, move on. Like,
yeah,
I don't get it. I don't get these guys who have these cushy broadcasting jobs that are worth like millions upon millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, and they're like, I need to get back into the sport. Like, you've played or coached or however, like why are you putting yourself back in the situation? Like, why are you putting yourself back under an immense amount of stress to play the most dangerous game most dangerous sport that Americans play? When he's gonna get hundreds of millions of dollars from Fox to talk about it, to watch the game. Like, if he wants to stay involved in football, I feel like doing the broadcasting thing is a much better move than going back. Because I mean, also, like, remember, when was the last time we saw Tom Brady play football? They lost in the
2022.
They lost in the playoffs to someone bad. I forget who.
Yeah, it wasn't anybody good.
Yeah, but I was like, wow, Tom Brady cannot throw a football anymore. Like, he was spiking throws in the dirt. It was like everything was short armed. Like, I don't know. And after a year off, like, I don't expect that to get any better. So I don't know. Tom, leave us alone. Like, we've got a great new generation of quarterbacks. I think we can do without him for a little bit.
So that was hilarious. I was not expecting that take to come from you, but at the same time, I see it. I don't disagree with it. I was having fun theorizing what it would take for Tom Brady to come to the Pittsburgh Steelers and what could possibly happen. And I'm not going to say that it's out of the realm of possibilities. I might be spewing some BS, and I'll acknowledge that I'm spewing some BS, but it's fun to think about what could happen and what could happen for this to happen. I think the Steelers going into the season, there's like zero question in my mind that the Steelers aren't going to be good. I'm not talking about like the best team in the NFL, but it's Mike Tomlin, it's Omar Khan, it's Art Rooney, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's a good defense that seemingly only got better. I have a hard time sitting here saying, yeah, they're going to be a really bad team this season. I think even if Russell Wilson and Justin Fields are not good, Arthur Smith could do enough to make this offense good. And with, again, Mike Tomlin lead the way, you're gonna win 9 games. That's just what happens. Like, you're gonna win a minimum of 9 games every single season. That is almost a guarantee. To this point, it is a guarantee. You look at the quarterback situation, you say Russell Wilson's the dude, but there are some people who are skeptical. Justin Fields is the backup, but there are some people who are skeptical. And maybe they get to week 10, week 11, both of these guys are trash. They're terrible. They're not doing anything good for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They just look so bad. But the offense is looking good. The Steelers are winning football games. They just clearly have a quarterback problem. Well, you know what? Maybe Tom Brady considers the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm just saying, maybe. I'm thinking if this is a year ago, if this was a year ago with the mindset that the Pittsburgh Steelers have right now, which is we're going to win a Super Bowl, and the quarterbacks were as bad as they were, Tom would have been a real option. I think that he would have. This year, I think it's a little bit more far-fetched, but I'm not going to say it's impossible for Tom Brady to end up in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I guess you can't rule it out. I mean, I thought Tom was retired, like twice, and before he actually came back and did it all over again. I think the Steelers would have to like start losing real bad for something like this to be a possibility, like the offense would have to be horrendous, and it would actually have to start affecting them winning games.
Yeah,
I think for Brady to be an option, because we've seen it before. Like, we saw it with Kenny. Like, he didn't look great. Like the stats didn't jump off the page, and the film didn't look crazy impressive, but they were winning, and he stuck around as their starting quarterback for year and a half, a year. I don't
Yeah,
know,
a year and a half.
year and a
Yeah,
half.
almost two.
Yeah, we'll call it year and a half. So like to me, like maybe this is a different Steelers organization. Maybe they have a different attitude, but I think if this team is not, unless this team is losing real bad, Tom Brady won't be. It is almost guaranteed to not be an option. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, I do.
you only get unseated when you lose in
Yeah.
Pittsburgh. Like you don't, if things are winning, if you're winning and things are fine in that way, like that's not a reason for organizations to, or for the Steelers at least, to pull a quarterback or make a quarterback change or make a change this drastic. Like you've got to really be losing. Like you have to stink to get this team to really move on from you. I mean, Matt Canada wasn't fired until they started losing to like the Patriots and the Cardinals, and
3 years into a really bad tenure. Yeah.
Right.
I could play devil's advocate, but I agree with everything you're saying. It's hard to argue. Like in a situation like this, it's hard to be like, well, actually, no,
Well,
you're right.
Well, I mean, even if we're just like talking about, the hypothetical of like how they get there, like I feel like they really have to stink for this to be this would not, this is not like,
so bad. Tom's not considering the Steelers.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, like kind of like it has to look real bad. So then I guess I don't know, but like if Tom wants to come back and he's like I don't know, I feel like unless there's only teams that are really desperate are going to ask him to come back.
Oh yeah,
and
so somebody who loses their MVP quarterback.
Oh, I don't even know about that. I don't even know about that. Like I feel like it's only going to be teams that have like almost no hope. Like it'd be like if like I don't know. I guess the Giants probably wouldn't do that, but like if
you don't think it'd be a team that
if the Raiders can't seem to land on a quarterback, if they draft a guy and he really is really awful, that's a team that I could see going after Tom Brady.
You don't think it'd be a team that, and Steelers fans hate that we're talking about Tom Brady this much, so we'll end it after this, but you don't think it'd be a team that like the 49ers lose Brock Purdy and Josh Dobbs just ain't it, and it's week 13 and they need a quarterback and they got to make a phone call? You don't think it'd be something like that?
Well, yeah, that's like what I'm kind of imagining.
That's what you're referring to?
Like, yeah, you'd have to have run through at least 2 or 3 quarterback options before I think you start considering Tom Brady.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just going to say maybe. Tom Brady comes, vet min contract. The Steelers have Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, and Tom Brady for like $3.5 million. What is that even? How does that even happen? How does that? It happens in Pittsburgh. Maybe it happens in Pittsburgh.